That's how you cook ribs, Elite Barbecue Smoker style. Hey, I'm Jason Hardy with Elite Barbecue Smokers. Today we're doing St. Louis ribs. We're doing these competition style. We're doing a RecTech 1250 right here. We're also using Royal Oak 100% charcoal pellets. In addition to that, we're also going to be using Rufus Teague spicy meat rub. So we're going to take these right here, put the seasoning on them, get RecTech lit so we get this bad boy started. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get light the RecTech. RecTech's awesome. It's got the hopper in the back. It can hold about probably 40 pounds of pellets pretty easy. We've got some of these Royal Oak charcoal pellets already in there from a previous cook, so we just want to top it off. Open the lid, easy to get to. I'm going to take them and pull them in here. Then I'm going to come here and turn it on. I'm going to set these for like I would at competitions. I'm going to set these at 300 degrees. While the RecTech's coming up temperature, I'm gonna start putting my rub stuff on my ribs. So let's get to prepping so we can get to cooking. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm gonna flip these ribs over. I'm gonna start putting rub on the back side of it. What I do is let this set first, then when I do the top side here, it'll have a good color to it, don't mess up the bark. As you can see, these really are nice ribs. How thick they are. I'm filling them up, got a good firmness to it. On the back side of here, I've taken the membrane off. So I'm gonna take the Rufus Teague spicy meat. Just go over it pretty good. If you want to use a binder, you can. I'm not necessarily using a binder because I'm gonna kind of let the sweat of the rib come out and bind to the meat. Just a little heavy on it. So it's been about 10 minutes. Our RecTech's up 300 degrees using Royal Oak charcoal pellets. Our Rufus Teague spicy meat has got good binding to our St. Louis ribs here. So we're gonna flip these things over and do the other side. You can see when you pick it up, it's not falling off. That's when we know we got good binding agent. It's binded to our meat very well. So you see we haven't over rubbed it. It's sticking to the meat well. Come in here, I'm gonna come on this side. I'm gonna go on a little bit heavy on this side. Pat it in a little bit. Give it a little bit of love, you know. Let's put these on the grill. Let's get started. I'm gonna put these right here on the dead center. Got them in there. When I do a rib, I always try and take it and squish them up a little bit. Push them in just a hair. Now, while these is cooking, we'll keep checking about every 20 minutes or so. I can spend about 2 hours. When I get the color I'm looking for, that's when I'll come in here and I'll start worrying about wrapping. See where we at. You see keep opening it up, keep spritzing it. I'm keeping that bark on there moist. It's dried out a little bit, you can see the color into it. See where we at temperature wise, what we got right here. At 140. We're good here. About another 30 minutes, we'll wrap these things up. See the color they got in here. Starting to dry out a little bit. The cut, you got a good bark in it, and cut away with it. We'll take these bad boys here off and start wrapping them, put them back on. So let's start taking them off. So I'm gonna take them, set them on the cutting board like this. I'll come on top of the meat side right here. I'm gonna put some parquet on it. I'm just gonna go over some brown sugar. Get this on Amazon here. It's kind of dehydrated, therefore it kind of goes on even more evenly. It's a little windy here. I'm gonna flip it over. Do the same thing on the back side. If you rather take it and put it on the tinfoil, you can. It just seems like this. I'm controlling more. Anytime I'm doing something, I'm always looking at what I'm controlling, how I can control it. By doing it that way, I'm able to get everything more evenly on the meat that I'm looking for. I've got it good and tight. It's got a good seal on it. All the moisture will stay inside these ribs. The reason I've done that is if I go to check my tenderness, I can take it, open it up without tearing my tinfoil and tearing it apart. So I'll put these right back on Rectech. See right here, see that yellow fat right here in the bottom? See that yellow fat right in here? That there showed me that these ribs here, I've gotten to the point where I've started rendering out my fat. Now I need to wrap these things to maintain moisture, because a lot of moisture is coming out of them, because that fat right here is what we need to add flavor to it. When I start seeing that yellow in there, I need to take into consideration it's time to wrap them bad boys. So again, do it the same thing we've done before. Oh, it's been wrapped about an hour. We'll go ahead and check our temperature, see where we are. We really haven't touched it. They've been sitting there for about an hour, 300 degrees. It should be close around 200, 205, but let's see where we at. I want to take them right off and bring them to the cutting board so we look at them. So now we're gonna just, like I said, the reason I've done them folding this way is so I can open them up, easily look at them, to my thermopin and not have to worry about it. So I'm gonna take it and just open them up. You start seeing the pullback right here. Seeing that pullback from the bone? Once you start seeing that pullback from the bone here, we know we kind of getting in the ball game. These ribs ought to be pretty close to being about ready, because that pullback gives me a good idea that we get into the tenderness we're looking for. So I'm gonna take them, be very gentle with them. I'm gonna come across the top and just do it. See how it's starting to break right here? See how it's just starting to separate just a little bit. I'm kind of exaggerating. See how it's just starting to break a little bit. There's ready. So I turn them over here. I'm gonna turn them over meat side back up so I can put my sauce to them and set my sauce on them, because I don't want to end that juice no more. So I'm gonna kind of fold these over and check the other rack. Just for the sake of conversation, let's see where we're temping at. We're at 207, 208, right on the money. So the sauce we're gonna use today is Roots Tea Honey Sweet. It's a good sweet sauce. And kind of what I'm going with today is kind of a sweet ribs. So I'm gonna tell you this. This is a thick sauce. So my juice in the bottom of it, I'm gonna pull on top of it also. So you can see it's dark, dark sauce. So I'm gonna take my brush, dip it in the juice and start brushing this in. The oil from the parquet and the oil from the ribs kind of help thin it out a little bit. I'm gonna close her up, not tight. I don't want to be tight. I just want to kind of come across the top of it. Just kind of make me a little handhold. I got a little basket. That's what we're looking for. Kind of bring it up so it's not on top of the meat. Now I'm going to open my Rectech back up. I'll take my little basket, put them right back on the grill. I'll let this here go for about 10 minutes. So a good rule of thumb is every how long I had it here on the table, putting the sauce on, checking temperature, I can go that long in the smoker and I ain't gonna hurt nothing. If I go in here an hour, I'm gonna really just screw up the world. But if I had it on here 10 minutes, I put it back on here 10 minutes. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. All I want to do is get that sauce and start making that sauce kind of bind to that meat so it gets tacky. Anytime I can touch it and I can leave my fingerprint in it, I've kind of got the sauce binded to the meat like I'm looking for. So we're gonna let this go about 10 minutes. We'll be right back. We'll start eating these bad boys up. So see you back in a few minutes. So it's been about 15 minutes here. The Rectech come up temperature pretty quick, about another 2 or 3 minutes after put them back on there and shut the lid. So they've been on there a good 10 to 12 minutes in here. So that sauce on there, that rub on there should be good and darkened up a little bit and have a really good bind to the meat. So let's take them off, see what we got going on. You see the steam off there to continue cooking a little bit. So wherever you are, we're gonna pull them. We still got a little bend to it, so we're still good. We're gonna let them calm down just a few more minutes. And once they start calming down just a little bit, we're gonna slice them up. We're gonna start serving these bad boys up. Let's see what it tastes like. So stick around, be back in just a minute. All right, so these had time to rest a little bit. We're ready to slice these bad boys up and see what it tastes like. I'm gonna go halfway between each bone, kind of keep it as uniform as I can, but I'm more interested in going between each bone, therefore I get an even bite of meat on both sides. Now, I'm gonna come right here and take a little bit of sauce. Just a little bit. I'm gonna put it on my cutting board right here. I don't need much, just one little bit. All I'm gonna do on this is just kind of get it on my brush. Just a little bit on both sides here. That's all I want to do is kind of just something to keep it from, all the purpose of this right here is to keep it from basically turning gray. You see what we're doing here? We're just putting a light brush stroke on there. That's all we're looking for. In the future, you need to make sure you cut them completely through. So that's a big no-no right there. But you can see the color in them. See the smoke ring you got? See how the Rectech put a good smoke ring on them? And that's what I'm talking about right there. Lord, they look good. Well, let's go ahead and bite one of these things and see what it tastes like. I'll give this one right here that I overcut. That's perfect. You got good teeth marks in it. You can see the little bit of moisture on the bone. It's got a heck of a flavor to it. Just, it's good. It's really good. I could take this recipe right now and go to any competition. I could compete with this recipe and I wouldn't be scared about it. Matter of fact, I'll probably actually do that. This is not a recipe I use in competition, but it's simple, it's good. I mean, it's flat out amazing. Man, you can't beat that right there. Try this recipe. I promise you, you'll not be sorry. I promise you that you taste this recipe, you cook it like I told you to cook it right here, and the techniques, rubs and stuff, you can try your own stuff, but you go through the technique like this here, you'll get a perfect rib every day of the week. If you like our video, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, don't forget to like our videos, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment, questions, leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear back from you. We greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch our videos. It means a lot to us. With that being said, we'll actually go inside and eat supper. But before we do that, we're gonna say the blessing. But first, we gotta let Dolly try it. Dolly, you ready? Come on. Come on. Come here. Sit down. You ready for this? Let's see if these are good at competition. You ready? Is it good, girl? Another one. Whew. Dolly likes it. I reckon Dolly likes it. You will too. Thank you for watching our videos. Now let's say the blessing. Let's go eat supper. Lord, bless the food about the seeds and pray. Amen. See y'all next time. That's how you cook ribs, Lee Barbecue Smoker style, on a Rectech grill using royal oak charcoal, using Rufus Teague spicy meat rub and Rufus Teague honey sweet sauce. That's how you make it happen, Lee Barbecue Smoker style right there.